Welcome back to These Things Are Written on this Thursday as we continue to look at Psalm 9. So far, remember, this psalm is really a psalm of praise for the Lord who is enthroned on Zion because he brings vengeance upon the evil, but yet he shows care for those who are oppressed as well. Also remember, so far we have seen that this psalm kind of flips back and forth between a prayer to the Lord and then on reflections on what he is seeing and what he is saying. So as we look at this, keep those two things in mind. We're beginning today from verse 13. Be gracious to me, O Lord. See my afflictions from those who hate me. O you who lift me up from the gates of death, that I may recount all your praises, that in the gates of the daughter of Zion I may rejoice in your salvation. The nations have sunk in the pit they have made. In the net that they hid, their own foot has been caught. The Lord has made himself known. He has executed judgment. The wicked are snared in the work of their own hands. Higgaion, Selah. Now, first of all, those last two words there are musical terms that are untranslatable. Not really sure what they mean. You could think of them maybe as a musical interlude or a special kind of interlude or ending or something like that. More of an interlude in this case because there's more to come. As we look at the structure first, before we look at the attributes of God that we see in this, again, we see it flipping back and forth between prayer and reflection. He's starting now in verse 13 with a prayer. Be gracious to me, O Lord. You see that prayer that he's giving. This structure of verse 13 is kind of a sandwich structure. The first and last lines are parallel, and they hold in what is there in the middle. So be gracious to me, O Lord, O you who lift me up from the gates of death, are in parallel, and how he shows grace is in that middle line. See my afflictions from those who hate me. Reminding the Lord or sharing with the Lord the praise of how he is gracious because he sees those afflictions. Verse 14 is another one of those sandwiches, an ABA sandwich, indicating the type of thing in each one. Again, the two lines, the first and last line of verse 14, are pretty much in parallel. That I may recount all your praises, I may rejoice in your salvation. Again, very similar ideas and themes going on. And again, the focus of this is in the middle of that verse, that in the gates of the daughter of Zion. In other words, in the safety of the temple, that he will be able to recount the praises and rejoice in the Lord's salvation. Now, as we move to verse 15, we see that it is kind of returning back away from the prayer, more towards a reflection on what's going on. As we look at these verses 14 and 16, there's a lot of parallel going on in there as well. The nations, the first, second, and fourth line are all parallel, with the third line kind of being that extra, the middle of the sandwich, okay? The nations have sunk in their pit they have made. In the net they have hid, their own foot has been caught. And then the last line, the wicked are snared in the work of their own hands. And then the middle part, though, while it looks like all of those things are happening, we know that while those happens, they're getting snared or caught in their net or sunk in the pit. The first line of 16, the Lord has made himself known. He has executed judgment. See, he is the one that is making all of this happen. He is the one that is in charge, that is in control, even though it might seem that the evil is winning. The Lord is in control. So what attributes are we looking at here? Really, I see two of them. One is the Lord is gracious. The first part is all about his grace that he shows to the oppressed, to those who are hated. And then the next part, verses 15 and 16, really show how God is involved. Even though it seems sometimes he is not, he is in the center of those things that are happening, the downfall of the nations. Even though they seem to be self-destructing, it is the Lord in control through all things. Tomorrow, we wrap up with Psalm 9. I hope you join me again. And then, starting on Monday, we're going to be looking at Psalm 25. Now, at the very bottom, at the end of this video, you'll see a logo, the Peace logo off to the side. That is so that you can subscribe to our YouTube page. If you would like to do that, please click on that and subscribe. We would greatly appreciate it. If we get over 100, we can kind of have a designated name for this. So that would be helpful. If you would like to do that, that would be great. If not, just come back tomorrow and we'll learn more as together we have a daily time in God's Word. Go in peace.